I see you now, Joe.
Hi, Mayor. How we doing?
Hanging in there.
One second. Live streaming hasn't started. Yep, it has, so we should be good.
Are we good? All right. Good afternoon,
Yes.
or early evening, everybody. We've got a city council special meeting, December 10th, 2020. I want to welcome everybody and thank you for and the council for being able to attend. I'll call the meeting to order and let's have the clerk please take roll.
County.
Here.
Boson.
Here.
Boss.
Yes.
Gray.
Here.
Westergaard.
I'm muted. Here.
Mandelbaum.
Here.
Gatto.
Here.
Your Honor, we have a quorum.
All right, great. Could we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented and or as amended?
Move.
It's been moved. I think we probably should poll the council.
County.
Yes.
Boson.
Yes.
Boss.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Westergaard.
Yes.
Mandelbaum.
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Your Honor, that's 7 yes. Motion carries.
All right. The item up is ordinances final consideration. I will tell everybody this has to do with some property. We have parties in interest that we will ask to speak, and then we will give them a minute apiece and 10 minutes maximum for those parties in interest. And then secondly, we'll ask the general public to speak and again, remind everybody that your input should be germane to this item at hand. And we're going to give 1 minute for every person that would like to speak, up to 10 minutes maximum. So item 3 is amending chapter 134-1.10 of the municipal code of the city of Des Moines, Iowa, 2000 by rezoning and changing the district classification of property located in the vicinity of 2421 Forest Avenue from a PUD, Planned Unit Development District, RX1 Mixed Use District, and N5 Neighborhood District to P2 Public, Institutional, and Civic District classification, and amending the area of the Drake University Recreation PUD conceptual plan by removing 2.84 acres thereof. Let's open it up and ask first if the council has any comments they would like to make in regard to this amendment. Anyone?
Well, Westergaard will speak.
Okay.
I know that we're here to change the zoning, and I understand that, but I'm still going to follow what my constituents want, and that is to vote no on this. And I am listening to what those who elected me are asking me to do, and that is to vote no. It's too bad that the school district did not let it go to a vote with 7,000 signatures. I would have thought that they would have been listening. That's my statement.
Thank you. With that, does anyone want to make a motion, or should we open it up for the parties in interest?
Mayor County, this is Carl Voss. Thank you. I will move this third reading of the resolution.
All right, thanks, Carl. Let's go ahead and ask first if there's any parties in interest the applicant or those within 250 feet of the property to be rezoned, we would ask you to raise your hand at this time. Matt?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. I'm Matt Cohen with RDG Planning and Design, representing Drake University and Des Moines Public Schools. Also on the call this evening are Michelle Huggins and Ryan Arnold of Drake University, and Bill Good and Daryl Giersdorf of Des Moines Public Schools, as well as Jason Bloom, who's the landscape architect from RDG as well. Just wanted to share a little bit. The partnership between Drake and DMPS has really focused on a few drivers that I wanted to share. And these are reviewed at the beginning of each of our team meetings. And the first is students first, advocating for the users of the facility. Secondly, focusing on community pride and the quality of the facility. Third, stewarding resources in the best form and fashion. And fourth, creating a special place that contributes to the vitality of the Des Moines community. This facility will ultimately afford student athletes, band members, and fans the opportunity to perform in and experience a collegiate type environment.
Time, Matt.
All right, Matt, anybody else want to speak? Any of the other, either school district or Drake University individuals?
Matt, I see that Brian Harden's also on the call.
All right, seeing no other speakers for the parties in interest, let's open it up and see if there's any of the general public that would like to speak. And again, we'd like those comments to remain germane to the item. And let's open it up. I see some hands up. Let's start with Indira. Indira, you're open, I think.
Indira.
Indira? All right. Peyton Shoemaker. Peyton?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to first say thank you, Linda Westergaard, for actually saying that you're going to stick with what your constituents want. I wish that all of you would do that. So I just wanted to say, with just the issue of zoning, at the last meeting, you guys were talking about how frustrating it was to change the zoning of an area. So I'm just wondering why you would choose to rezone this area right now when it's not even set in stone that the stadium can be built, since it's still in litigation. And if you guys lose, if the city of Des Moines loses that lawsuit, then you'll have to change over the stadium to Drake University. And there's no telling like what they're going to do with that. If it's not fully built, will they keep it? Will you have to rezone it again? It just doesn't make sense to me that you would want to rezone this property right now when nothing is really set in stone, and that you want to go against your community and your constituents so much. Who don't want this. Like, there was a whole petition with over 7,000 people who signed it saying that this needs to come to a public vote.
Time.
Again, I want to thank all the public for their input. Just clarification, this is not a lawsuit that is being threatened against the city of Des Moines. We're not a party to that lawsuit. Let's open up to Dan Pettit. Dan?
Hello, this is Dan Pardock. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just a question real quick, and I would like this not to count towards my 1 minute. I did receive an email this morning from the city clerk when I asked if there would be a time limit on public speakers. She replied with no, not for this one. And I'm just curious what has changed since 9 o'clock this morning.
No, then you misunderstood my email, Dan, because I said I thought you were asking if you had to submit a request to speak. And I said, no, when the mayor opens it to the public, you can speak. That's how I answered.
Right. And then I said, thank you. Will there be a limit on public speakers? And you
Yes. I
yes.
said I didn't know the amount of time.
Right. And that was at 8:48 this morning. And then you followed up with an email at 9 o'clock that said, no, not for this one.
Then it was not that was not my answer. So you're able to speak now, and I would say you should take time to do so.
Okay. I will begin my 1 minute at this time. Unfortunately, the email miscommunication there. Okay, I will begin. My name is Dan Pardock. I represent the 4,335 members of the Facebook group Save Our Stadiums, along with those 7,120 people who signed a petition calling for a public vote regarding the use of SAVE funds for this stadium. I'll start with Mr. Gaudo, Mr. Gray. I hear you when you say this is a zoning issue and it's not for the city council to decide. But when the school district won't listen, you have to go to the next level for help, and that's this council. I want to make it very clear this isn't solely a DMPS issue, it's a Des Moines issue. Ms. Westergaard could tell us all about the biggest reasons why people choose to move out of Des Moines, and I'm guessing the school system is near or at the top of that list. If you're looking for a place to buy a house with your young family, are you going to pick a town where the football and soccer teams play down the hill or across the street? Or are you going to choose Des Moines, where your child will have to take a bus several miles from home to watch or play a game? I'm guessing the majority of families would choose the first option, not Des Moines. City Council, you can right or wrong. You can vote no on the rezoning of this property for the good of Des Moines, its future, its taxpayers, its families, and its students. Thank you very much.
Time.
Kayla.
Jalen.
Hey, actually, it's Matt Bruce. We just couldn't change our name on the screen, but I'm going to begin my minute. Well, thank you. First of all, the first thing that's concerning is that Drake is a private institution, and as was said earlier, DMPS did not even take a vote on this. So this process, the approval has been not available to the public. And also, you guys are moving forward, even though this project that the zoning refers to is being litigated in court. Also, this will move resources towards Drake. You're going to turn lights off in 3 different parts of the town and have people drive towards Drake every week for 10 to 12 weeks of the year, every year. That's moving resources. We could split that $15 million up and give $5 million to each stadium that needs to be improved. And that would bring more resources to parts of the city that are suffering. There's not been an impact report on this zone and what will happen to the neighborhood either when you bring in the construction into the neighborhood. What is going to happen to the traffic? What's going to happen to the businesses? What's going to happen with noise pollution? What's going to happen with the physical pollution?
Time.
Let's move on to KT.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. 11,455. That's the number that Dan had read to you. That's how many people how many people altogether that he said he was representing. There's more than that, and I just want to recognize that. Thank you, Dan, for those numbers. I agree with what Matt said and everybody else who has called in. Student pride, community pride, special place, all of that would be taken away from the schools. That's not okay. Taking that from the students and putting it in one spot is not okay. How many people have asked the students, the community, if they can take from their schools and just put it in one spot? This year alone, things have been taken away from them at a school level. It's not okay to do that. I yield my time.
Tyler.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, my name is Tyler Bainter. I'm a resident of Des Moines in Ward 1. And I'd like to echo the other statements of concern about the rezoning of this land. And say, I know that on your capacity as city council members, you're not directly attached to this, and it should be DMPS who should be listening to the people who contribute to it. But I ask that at this point in time where you stand between this going through and stopping to give people fairness and time, I ask that you take this this matter and put it to a halt until the taxpayers can decide what they'd like to do. And to Mr. Gray, as a constituent of your district, I just ask that you take what I have to say for something, and that you would reconsider your stance on this project. Thank you.
Let's try Indira again.
Hi, can you hear me this time?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. I want to speak directly to Carl Voss and Bill Gray. Bill Gray, I want you to know that this is going to hurt your ward, and that is why I am so concerned about this. I want to speak to Carl Voss because there are people in multiple wards in this city who you represent who are very, very afraid of this project going forward. I want to emphasize that this is not a routine issue. Zoning is not a routine issue. Zoning is the way that you guys get to decide what our city looks like, what resources are distributed where, what our city is going to be. And this is something that is going to hurt a huge, huge part of the city. Specifically for Mr. Bill Gray, it's going to hurt Ward 1. It's going to hurt Hoover. It's going to hurt all of the kids and families in this neighborhood, all the businesses in this neighborhood. And I'm very, very worried about that. People walk across the street to go to Hoover football games. People walk a block away to go to Hoover football games. They're not going to be able to go downtown. How many away games are we going to have? Like, this is a choice that we get to make to say, like, let's step back and let.
Time.
Elizabeth Saunders.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, members of the Des Moines City Council and Mr. Mayor. My name is Elizabeth Saunders, and I am a member of the Roosevelt girls soccer team at Roosevelt. I'm speaking from my perspective as a soccer player and also as a student in Des Moines in support of the DMPS and Drake Stadium. Your actions today will have a direct impact on students throughout the district like myself. The stadium is the first of its kind for us and gives many students hope for the future of athletics and more within our district. Every student in Des Moines deserves the opportunity to play in a stadium of the same quality as our suburban opponents, and the longer the stadium takes to be built, the more students that lose this opportunity. Students strive for academic success to remain eligible and receive awards in athletics. Playing at the Drake system has not negatively impacted Roosevelt school spirit, and having a Des Moines Central Stadium would likely increase Des Moines pride among the different schools. Thank you.
All right. Let's try see if this is Jalen. I think this will be our last speaker. Jalen, can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Hello, thank you. I would like to respond to a couple points. I do believe that people in Des Moines should have the same access as suburban students to fields, and people in suburban neighborhoods have fields in their neighborhoods. They do not have to travel 15 or 20 minutes across town to get access to a good field. They can travel 5 minutes or walk across the street. So we should put the money that's getting placed in one area that's already getting money placed from Invest DSM and other investment opportunities already, and put that money where money is not being put. That's what this public institution has an obligation to do. Thank you.
That's all, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you check and see, make sure the council members, I think they're all able to vote and get in?
Mayor, I don't know how to raise my hand on this computer. I just would like to speak when you have a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and, Kay, would you try to, while Joe is speaking, just confirm that Connie and
Yes,
Carl,
I've already confirmed with them, Mayor. They're okay.
we're good. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I apologize. This is a different computer. So first off, I appreciate all the speakers. There's a lot of valid points being said tonight about the use of the fields that are not going to be used anymore, specifically Lincoln, Hoover, and North. Those are a specific impact that we are going to lose in our neighborhoods. And for, shame on the Des Moines Public Schools for not doing the upkeep to those fields. So now they're in a position to where now they can't do the upkeep to the fields. Unfortunately, this is a zoning issue. It's unfortunate that a lot of these folks that are speaking tonight didn't speak at the school board meeting for this stadium. This has been going on for a while. I mean, there's 7,000 signatures, and I think that the school board, and I don't see any of the school board members on here listening. That's unfortunate, because this needs to go to a vote to the residents of the city of Des Moines, and it could have been done very easily in November when we have an election. I won't support the rezoning for this. I know it's the third reading, but it would just be beneficial if our colleagues would maybe listen to some of these folks, because there is some valid points about what we're going to do to our neighborhoods and the impact of the neighborhoods that we're going to see now of just dilapidated stadiums, even worse than they're going to be, because they are going to be dilapidated unless the school board, and I haven't heard their plans, are they going to give money to redo some of these stadiums to be able to practice and play on? I haven't heard that plan. I haven't seen it, but it sure would have been nice to get some of the money from the Des Moines Public Schools and do fundraising specifically for Lincoln High School after we did the feasibility plan that we instituted a few years ago with Mr. Bill Good, and I appreciate him doing that. But I think this is the wrong move. I think the folks at Roosevelt, and I appreciate the young gal that plays soccer, but she's got to play soccer at a college stadium the entire time at Drake, and Roosevelt's got to play at a college stadium. So they've got to play at nice stadiums, and they've got to stay in their neighborhood to do it. And now they're going to have a neighborhood. Now they're going to have a stadium in their backyard where everyone else has got to travel to. That's not fair. So I'll be voting no. I'll end my comments there. I hope that maybe some of my colleagues would listen to that, but we'll move forward. Thanks, Mayor.
Anyone else?
This is Connie. I'm on my phone,
Yeah, go ahead, Connie.
locked up. So I just want to let you know I'm on my phone.
Okay, did you want to make a comment on this, Connie?
I guess my only comment is, after serving 14 years on the school board, and I know we're talking about zoning, but since everybody brings up the stadium, we have done everything for the schools from an educational standpoint. And this has been talked about for 7 years, about putting together a central stadium to save money on facilities. And we know that it has worked with Grandview and East High. I know most of anything that's ever been done at East was we raised money ourselves through the foundation. I believe this is the correct thing going forward. The money saved can be put into the other things that need such attention in every one of our schools. Many schools only have one gym, weight rooms, wrestling rooms, baseball fields, softball fields. There's so much need. So I support the zoning of this. I support a centralized stadium. And I think in the long run, this is the right thing to do for considering the constraints this district has. And I think it will be an amenity into an area that we have been talking about. One of our key areas we're focusing in on the Invest ESM and all the things that are going on in that area. So I will be supporting it.
Okay, anyone else? Any other council members? If not, let's call the question, and I ask the clerk to poll the council, please.
County,
Yes.
Boson,
Yes.
Voss,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Westergaard,
No.
Mandelbaum,
Yes.
Gatto.
No.
Your Honor, that's 5-2, motion carries.
All right. That concludes our agenda for this evening. Could we have a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Been moved, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Position. Thank you all for attending. This meeting is adjourned.